passions lie within you. When I was thinking of creating the cover photo for this, I wanted to find something that would be meaningful here. So this photo of a cairns, I'm not a big hiker, but when I would go on hikes, you would see the rocks stacked in different formations. I always knew them as a bit of a wayfinder, but I wanted to get the definition. Cairns symbolize guidance and direction. They're often used to mark trails and guide travelers through challenging or unmarked terrain. They can represent safety and navigation, and in many cultures, they have a spiritual significance. They symbolize balance and harmony with nature. So I thought that would be a lovely thought to get us started for today's session. For those that may not know who I am Joanne Gates. I am a certified life coach. I focus on supporting women in professional careers reach their aspirations, whether that is having less stress in their day, getting that next promotion, getting into senior leadership and staying there. I have 3 decades of working mostly at Microsoft and always in a male-dominated tech environment. I was able to move from entry level all the way to the executive ranks. So been there, done that, seen it, either directly myself or people that I have mentored, managed. My last role, I managed an organization of over 70 individuals, multiple layers, hundreds of millions of dollars of both revenue and cost. I've been through hiring, spurts, and layoffs. 30 years is a long time, lots of different experiences over that period. But I always found that my true passion was in mentoring and coaching other women, empowering them to achieve those career aspirations. I would often get asked, how did I reach whatever level I had? And so for most of my career, I have spent significant time working with women to help them achieve whatever their career aspirations are. I'm always actively championing for more female representation, whether it's in senior leadership roles, VP, entrepreneurial roles. Frankly, I think there needs to be more women in every aspect of our lives. Wherever significant decisions are being made, I want more women in the room helping to make them. I, like many of you, have faced many challenges, whether it's imposter syndrome, mom guilt, time management, microaggressions. I have 2 wonderful daughters who are now both in their 20s, and I have been married for more than 30 years. I'm now an empty nester. As the kids got older, I found that I had more and more time to spend however I wanted. Very often, I wouldn't have a good answer for how I would want to use that time. The 2 annual places that would come up would be Mother's Day and my birthday. My family would say, it's your day, what do you want to do with it? And I'd be like, beats the heck out of me. And now that I have even more of that time, I find that conversations between me and my friends are in the same vein of how do we want to use our time? There's a lot to be said for relaxing and recharging. We absolutely need that. But you also have moments where you want something that gives you a bigger sense of purpose or accomplishment or serving others. So I built this workbook to help start answering these questions, to put you on the path to being able to, again, rediscover what those passions are. First step is looking back on what moments you think of as being particularly joyful. So a time when I felt truly alive was the activities that make me lose track of time. And if I had a free day with no obligations, I would. This is fully fillable, and I would encourage you to populate at least the 3 lines that are here, but really as many as you can think of. When I sat down and was answering these questions for myself, some of the areas that I thought about where I lose track of time is absolutely when I'm having a girls' lunch or just time with some of my friends. About 6 months ago, a gal I had worked with 20 years ago reached out, said she was going to be in the area and would I like to have lunch? And we hadn't stayed in touch. And so I was a little surprised, excited, nervous. I felt like a little bit of a blind date because after 20 years, you're more or less strangers to each other. I was hesitant to go on this lunch, but it has been my journey to try to get more comfortable with the uncomfortable. I remember as I was leaving the house saying to my husband, I'll probably be gone for like an hour and a half, between travel time, etc. Well, I think the gal and I spent easily 2.5 hours having lunch, catching up, laughing, and really just enjoying our afternoon. I absolutely lost track of time. So what are those things for you that you look on and you feel like you've just absolutely lost track of time? A free day with no obligations. I live in the Seattle area, and there is a spot about 90 minutes north of us called the Tulip Fields. For a short couple of weeks in April, we have these fields that are full from as far as the eye can see with tulips, and it is absolutely beautiful. I realized I hadn't been up to that area for probably easily 10 years. As I was filling out this workbook for myself, I realized that last Friday I had a day with nothing planned, and it was supposed to be sunny, which doesn't always happen in the Seattle area in April. And I had made a decision that I would take a trip up there and enjoy myself. And I did, and it was lovely. I walked around with a smile on my face, seeing all the different colors, bought several batches of different colored tulips, and had a nice time. I felt good about doing something that I hadn't done in so long. When you've finally done something like that, you think, why have I waited so long? What is holding me back from making these plans and following through on them? I'm going to pause just for a few seconds, and hopefully you have taken a couple of minutes to think of each of these questions and come up with some answers. And if you haven't, I would strongly encourage you to do this reflection and take the time again to fill out all of the different lines that are here. This is really going to start a great foundation for you. Another great way to think about what those passions may be that have been buried or put to the side is when you think about what past interests you have, what are those hobbies and activities that you used to enjoy, whether it's a child, teenager, young adult, your younger years, maybe before kids. And then secondly, things that you've always wanted to try but haven't. When I think about activities that I really enjoyed, one of the things that came up for me was I had always wanted to spend more time learning how to cook well. I've always enjoyed cooking. I wouldn't say I'm a particularly good cook. So both in what I enjoy and what I've wanted to try is taking a more serious cooking class. I'm in the Seattle area. I don't know if Sur La Table is a chain that is nationwide, but in this area, it's a wonderful shop that has all of the different cooking supplies. They have a ton of classes there as well. And so I had looked up their cooking classes, and they have like 3 classes every single day of every month. Many of them might be focused on kids or a date night. I was able to find one that is about, I think it's Italian spring dinner. It is cooking a steak and several lovely sides and a limoncello dessert of some sort. I saw the class and I thought about signing up for it. I didn't actually sign up until I let some of my friends know about the class. One of my girlfriends said, if you end up taking one, let me know and I will join. It was only then that I made the commitment to sign up. Now I not only have that one girlfriend, I've got another one, and that's going to be this coming Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to it. But it is a little window into we can make a decision, but that's actually different than making a commitment. I made a decision that I'm going to start taking some cooking classes, but I hadn't actually taken the action to put it on my calendar, pay for the class, let others know about it, and I'm sure on Tuesday I will absolutely show up because I'm looking forward to it. So again, take some time to think about what your past interests have been that you've let slip away. The next step is looking at what you value. And I think answering this step and putting your values in ranking these from 1 to 10 really helps us delineate between how we end up just using our time, what I can think of as buffering. We're just doom scrolling, not really super invested in anything. Yes, the time has passed. We tend to think about scrolling on social media. If something is aligned with these values, that's where we end up feeling so much more of the joy, satisfaction, those things that just light you up and give you a smile for half an hour. Maybe it's the rest of your day, maybe it's for another week, whatever it might be. This is going to really help you understand where those activities will give you that sense of satisfaction and purpose versus just using your time. For me, the top 2 or 3 are connection with others, creativity, and self-expression. I am not a naturally creative person, but I wish I was. So whether it is taking a painting class or cooking, it has some creativity to it. I do enjoy gardening. I like how it ends up, aesthetically making the house look, or just getting some flowers for the house. Tranquility and relaxation. That's big, because if you're a professional woman, especially if you're also a mom, you've got a day job and a night job and a weekend job, there isn't a lot of time for relaxation and downtime, and we absolutely need that. For many others, health and well-being. I hear a lot of folks who really like getting out into nature. It can be also giving back to others, folks that are very into supporting their community through different nonprofits, maybe your church, whatever it might be. What are your values? Rank this page in your 1 to 10. And I would say at least the 1 to 5. And then it really separates your top values from your still important, but potentially lesser values. And if there's anything that's missing, I would love for you to shoot me a note and let me know. I did this class with a group last week, and one of the gals had talked about wanting to do home improvement projects. She talked about wanting to take some classes at Home Depot to learn how to do some of the items that she had previously had to call a handyman to do. That same gal reached out to me yesterday or the day before, and she said, "Thank you so much for this class. It got my butt into gear. I have signed up for, I think, 2 Home Depot classes, and she has decided to take some line dancing classes." And so she's got a number of things that she has added to her calendar. I'm thrilled that she's taken some action, and she's going to feel so wonderful about how she wants to use her time. I hope the same for all of you. This has certainly done that work for me. Next step is all about where you get your energy from. What activities leave you feeling energized and full versus the ones that are more of, the drag, the obligation, the drain. And I do think for many of us, the workday can be quite draining, but you can potentially find those parts of your day. Might be the water cooler connection with someone. It might be going for a walk after lunch or during a one-on-one meeting. What parts of your day have you feeling energized? What I had told that group last week was, for me, doing sessions like this, where I am hopefully bringing some inspiration and action to women to have them have more of the life that they deserve. That's one of the things that brings me the most energy, and I feel super fulfilled. So I really want you to answer that question for yourself. What topics or causes do you find yourself talking about with enthusiasm? For many folks right now, the political environment is something that they spend a lot of time and energy talking about. Many individuals are super passionate about the state of our planet and sustainability and wanting to improve our world. For me, it is about empowering more women. I want to see more women rising up in the ranks. Right now, I'm having a hard time with some of the rights that are being taken away. That is super concerning for me. That's an area that I feel a lot of passion and enthusiasm about trying to do something about changing that. So what is it for you? Okay. Next step, step 5, and the last step. This is where you have to actually take some actions. You have to move from decision to commitment. What activities are you going to start or renew in the next month? I only put 2 lines on here, but I should have put 5 or 6 because, if there's 5, you might actually do 1 or 2. I really want you to make a decision on this and take action on this commitment within the next 48 hours. That means signing up for the class, putting it in your calendar, making that pickleball date with a group, having people over for dinner, whatever the thing is that you have decided you want to start or restart. Get it in a place where it is a commitment in the next 48 hours, or there's a super high chance it will just stay a wish. One of the things that I talk about with my clients is the distinction between a goal and a dream or a wish. A goal has a timeline, it has an expectation of success, it has an expectation that there will be challenges, and a set of strategies that you will employ to get past those challenges, and you're going to hold yourself accountable. That is setting a goal and going after something. A dream or a wish is this hope that these wonderful things are going to just happen to come to be. Some people talk about that as a manifestation. I don't believe in pure manifestation. I think everything we want requires some amount of intention, action, and accountability. We aren't always successful as we're achieving those goals, but we're always learning about something got in our way that we weren't planning for. And that's that next question. What is going to get in your way of following through? So for many of us, it is, I'm just too tired. I don't have the energy to do it. Cost more than I'm prepared to spend, or I've lost that motivation. I'm scared to do that thing by myself or even with others. What is going to get in the way of you following through with what you wrote down earlier on this page? Once you have thought about those items, you have an opportunity to build some strategies today while you have the motivation and intention and you want this thing to be successful. If there's an opportunity to get together, I'll use an example for me. If I have an opportunity to get together with girlfriends once a month, probably once every 3 or 4 times, when that afternoon comes up, I'm like, oh, I've had a day and I just don't feel like it. It's raining out, it's dark, whatever's going on, I have a headache. If I know that I have a tendency to, bail on something like that, how am I going to make sure when that day comes, I'm not going to let myself down? You know that you're going to feel better after you've actually done the thing, but how are you going to celebrate yourself? I took the risk. It may feel uncomfortable. And again, for me, I'm trying to learn more how to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. I think that is the biggest game changer that all of us can learn as we continue to grow and mature. If we just stay comfortable and safe, we're in the sameness. We're sleepwalking through our lives. And I am not all about that anymore. I think I did that for a period of time. You're just kind of on autopilot and your days are quite maybe same. You're just kind of in this rote routine and you're like, oh, we need the time to recharge and relax. If you are using your time to just push bad feelings away, you are not actually recharging. How are you using your time, and is it getting you the result that you really want? Is it just shoving your feelings into a box and hoping they never come to light? If I can share anything, it is that they do. They will show up with insomnia, your health, or certainly anxiety and stress levels, catching up with you, starting to face them and have different ways of coping is going to be beneficial. So, what activities are you going to start or renew in the next month? Again, for me, taking this cooking class, I've made a commitment to make more dates with female friends. I'm getting together with a friend later today. I've got a couple of gals that I will see on Saturday. And so for me, that's one of the things that really does, again, recharge me, connecting with my women friends. And so that's one of the things that I'm going to start driving. I used to just wait for somebody else to invite me to places, and I would generally say yes because I was definitely thirsting that connection. But you can't just sit in the passenger seat and expect the driver to go where you want that car to go. You've got to take responsibility and drive that car if you want it to get to the destination that you're hoping for. I would love to hear from you what activities you're going to start or renew, and make a commitment to yourself. Make that commitment within the next 48 hours, or that sense of motivation is going to wane, because our brains love to bring us back to a place of comfort. We're going to tell ourselves it's too hard, it's too expensive, that's a dumb idea, no one's going to want to do that, what if they don't like it? I would still encourage you to do it, because you're going to feel good that you've taken some action and taken control. Okay, so this page is really for 30 days from now. Keep it handy and look at it again, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. What did you actually do? What did you enjoy the most? What will you change for the next time? And what else was on your list that maybe you are gonna take a stab at this next go around? When that gal was talking about the Home Depot classes, I was telling her that I had done a very small project in my home to add some peel and stick wallpaper, just to see what it was all about and how hard it was. And it came out okay, definitely not great, very low, it was like $20 in material. But when she was talking about it, I was like, I bet they have classes on hanging wallpaper, and maybe specifically even peel and stick wallpaper. So that's on my list of what would I explore further. I'm sure once I take this cooking class, I'm going to be even more motivated to sign up. What I'd love to do is a multi-week course where I can learn so much more about all the skills required to really amp up my cooking skills. So would love, again, to hear from all of you in a month or 6 weeks on what actions did you take? What would you do differently? Think about where you are making a commitment to yourself, but you're making it pretty low stakes for you to bail. If you did end up letting those challenges get in your way, if you had invited somebody else, would that help keep you accountable and actually follow through? What are those things that you would change? Maybe you went with a bunch of friends and did something, and next time you want to do it by yourself. We're always learning, we're always iterating. There is no right or wrong in any of this. It is about living with your purpose and spending time how you want to, and knowing that you are worth it. You bring so much more to your friends and family and your life when you have filled your cup. Too many of us go to sleep every night fully exhausted. We have given so much of ourselves to our jobs, to our kids, to our families, to our community, and we haven't done enough of the things that we have wanted to do for ourselves. I really want you to take this time to step through these 5 steps and take some action that's going to add so much more joy and purpose and life into your world. Well, we are at the end of my webinar here. I want to say congratulations again for taking the time to join me here today. You're very busy with other things, but you took the time to come and learn how you can add more joy and satisfaction to your life. I'd love to hear what you're doing to rediscover your passions. I am a life coach for professional women. I help women get through challenging times. You've got an intention to get a promotion. You're thinking about leaving one job for another. You have a real problem with your manager. These are all some of the pretty typical, traditional challenges that I have helped women with. I also lead a monthly group coaching program called the Women's Leadership Development Series. We meet the second Thursday of each month at noon West Coast time, and that is always open. We would love to have even more kick-ass ladies join us. If you are interested in learning more about me and my services, I would love for you to check out my website, and that is execcoachjoanne.com. All right, everyone, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and go out there and rediscover those passions.